Hey everybody, Jillian here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. Today I have a process video for you using Elaine Davis's set that's new in the print and pray shop over at illustratedfaith.com/shop. So I just give you a quick run through of what I was going to be using today. And I have to start by apologizing for my voice. I'm getting over this just viral plague that will not leave our family alone. So I hope it doesn't bother you too much. I'm really excited to share what I have today. And just a quick note about all the products that I'm using. You can find information about them, as always, in the video description below. Like, you can find links to pick them up for yourselves if you're interested in that. But you can also find detailed info about the specific products I used over on my blog. So I decided to create sort of like just a landing page for each process video that I create, where you can see some still photos of my project and like up close shots of what I'm using for each process video. It's also going to be a place where I house some like FAQs and things like that that I'm asked frequently, so I can just point people in that direction instead of having to answer it over and over and over again. So it's easier for me. I hope it becomes easy for you guys too. I'll go ahead and have all of that information linked in the video description below, and I would love for you to go check it out. It's not going to be like a daily blog where I talk about just like stuff every day. I am not ready to make time for that in my life just yet, but who knows? Who knows? So today I thought it would be really fun to approach this at least explaining the process like I would for, like as if I was talking to a beginner Bible journaler. I know that a lot of you guys are, and I may even have some extra eyes on my channel now if you guys have received a journaling Bible for Christmas and you're just starting out, or maybe you decide that you want to read through the Bible in a year. That's so exciting, and I'm so glad that you're here, and I would love to be a part of just encouraging you to do that and to flex your artistic muscles that each one of us has. So, with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about what I'm doing on the page here. Oh, but before that, I want to mention I do have a Bible Journaling for Beginners playlist on my YouTube channel. I did about 5 or 6 videos where I talk about my favorite Bible journaling supplies, and then I think maybe 3 or 4 videos about like what types of things you could Bible journal. So I will go ahead and link that also if you guys want to check that out. So for this entry, and for what I do for most Bible journaling entries, is I like to start with my title or the big idea that I'm pulling out of the page. And in this case, it's the title, Lens of Love. And I was totally inspired by the lens portion of it with these, because of these adorable sunglasses that Elaine includes in her digital set. So these pieces are from the Print and Pray shop. It is a digital shop over at illustratedfaith.com, meaning that you are going to buy digital files and then print them out on whatever type of paper you'd like. In this case, I'm using white cardstock because I ran out of the sticker paper that I like to use and only printed the one like faux washi strip page on sticker paper, and you'll see me use that a little later. So to get my title down, I'm using a combination of things. One of my absolute favorite things to use is alpha stickers and also stamps. So the phrase that was originally included on Elaine's printable said, "Let's go." And I didn't want to use that for my page, but I had all but one letter to spell out the word love, and that was what I wanted to journal about today. So I decided that I noticed that her letters in her kit were about the same size as the homespun alpha stickers from Illustrated Faith. So I decided, since there wasn't a V included with her set, to just go ahead and stamp one. I've got those stamps linked in the video description below, but the ink that I used came from the very first Illustrated Faith devotional kit that Dayspring put out, and it is no longer available. But I've got a very similar pigment ink, color-wise, linked if you guys want to check that out. It's a really pretty aqua, and so if you didn't happen to catch this one that created to create original kit, I think this is a pretty good substitute for it. So the first thing that I like to do, like I said, is get my title down, and then I choose typically one large element. In this case, it's those sunglasses. And then I like to either do my journaling next or work on some smaller, like, finishing touches almost. So I knew what I wanted to journal pretty much. It was really simple, and I knew I was going to have room for it. So I'm just going to take some time here to put some more finishing touches on the page. I decided not to use any paints or anything like that today. Sometimes those are my favorite when I just use the artist's illustrations from the print and pray shop. Typically, if I was going to use paint, that would be the first thing I do instead of the title work, but no paint today, so I went straight into the title. So these are those faux washi strips I was telling you about. You could print these on cardstock, they would work the same way, but I really love the look of them printed on clear sticker paper. I use the Avery 866 5 clear label paper, and I print everything on a commercial copier that is in our family's business. So we have like a commercial copier that you would find in most offices, and that's what I print these guys on. It's a laser printer. The sticker paper, I think it might say it's for inkjet, but it works in a laser printer. I was really nervous to try that, but it works just fine. So here you can see that I'm kind of wiggling the washi strip around as I'm cutting it. And that's because I love the look of a torn edge of washi tape, but sticker paper does not tear. And so what I realized, Shauna Noel totally like revolutionized this for me. She created a set that when you printed it out, it looked like it was torn paper. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? So when I cut like faux washi strips, if you just wiggle the paper around a little bit, it looks like jagged, like you tore it. So I'll do it one more time so you can see how I did that. But basically, you just hold the scissors still and then wiggle the washi strip so that it looks like you tore it. Because, like I said, I love that look, but unfortunately, it's not achievable. You just cannot tear sticker paper, or at least I can't. So I decided to go ahead and get my journaling down, and I just wrote here next to Mark 12:29 to 31. I just wrote a simple little prayer here. I've been doing a lot of reflecting on what I learned this past year, and one theme I kept seeing month after month in my life was our call to love one another just as we love ourselves. And so I'm journaling that next to where Jesus talks about that in Mark, where he's asked what the most important commandment is. And he says, the most important one, answered Jesus, is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. And so I just wrote a simple little prayer here that says, Lord, please help me love others the way that you love them. And so that was what's really just become apparent to me, especially this last year, is I'm called to love people, even when it's not easy, when it's inconvenient, when it's difficult, when I don't want to. I'm to love God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, and then to love others as myself. And that's really something that I want to, of course, carry with me for the rest of my life. But I kind of want to look through that lens as I go through 2018. And that's really what inspired this entry. So I wanted to bring some of that reddish color down to the bottom, and had printed out, or had cut out a strip of WordFetti to do that, but I didn't love how it looked, and instead decided to go to the other section of WordFetti in Elaine's printable that says out of my comfort zone, because loving others is uncomfortable. But the thing that I've learned is I'm not here on earth to be comfortable. I am to love God and to love other people. And like I said, it's hard. It's really hard sometimes to love people. But that's one of the things I'm here to do. So I just decided to take some time and document that here with some really fun, beautiful printables. So I'm using the Illustrated Faith tape runner to get those guys down on top of the washi tape. I wanted to create a little anchor with that washi tape and then layer the things on top. So like I said, I wanted to have that reddish, orangish pink color down at the bottom, and instead just swapped out the star that I had put on the top originally with a yellow one to go ahead and bring that red color down. And then I decided to date stamp my entry using the Illustrated Faith Roller Date It stamp. One last thing I'm going to do is recreate some of these little dots that you see in the letter E as just kind of a finishing touch. I thought about maybe splattering some black watercolor around the page to give it a little something extra, but instead decided to just copy that design element that Elaine already included in her printable and put it elsewhere on my page. And that's going to do it. Here's a finished look of my entry along with a couple of close-ups. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd be happy to answer anything you want to know or have a question about. Be sure to check back next Wednesday for a brand new Bible journaling process video, and I'll see you then.